Hello, everyone. In this video, we are going to look at some examples to talk about the design considerations in data visualization. So in particular, we will look at the Shepherd's 4Cs principles of data visualization. We will discuss this concept called chart chunk and data to ink ratio. Then we will look at some examples to keep our design simple and concise. And finally, we will talk about how to understand the audience of your data visualization and what is the message you want to deliver to your audience. So first, let's look at the Shepherd's 4Cs of data visualization. So the 4Cs are just clear, clean, concise, and captivating. So clear means easily seen and sharply defined. So in this case, you need to understand who is audience of your charts, of your data visualization, what message you want to deliver to the audience, and you need to clarify the information, which is more important than aesthetics. Second, clean. Clean means to keep it thorough, complete, and unadulterated. So you should be able to use the elements such as labels, axes, grid lines, formatting, color, etc., to make it clean and make it easy understand by the audience. Concise means it's you need to make it brief but comprehensive. In this aspect, we are not going to be doing our charts and visualization like the minimalist, but we are not going to make it too verbose. So it means we don't want to decorate it too much. So we want to focus on the message we want to deliver, and we want to be concise, we want to be accurate. Finally, captivating is to attract and hold the attention of the audience. So we talked about some attributes, especially pre-attentive attributes that can be used to capture users' attention. So we should exploit those attributes and try to attract the attention of the audience. So next, there are some design considerations we want to talk about. Essentially, we want to keep it simple, and by understanding who is audience. So this is the principle we normally talk about. I'm sure you all know this principle. Keep it simple and make it concise and accurate. So this is related to what we talked about, what we want to talk about, the concept of chart junk, which is the unnecessary or confusing visual elements in charts and the graphs. So another related concept is called data ink ratio. It's the non-erasable core of a graphic. So based on this definition, we know that we want to actually increase the data ink ratio, which means you want to minimize the use of chart junk. So this concept or this term chart junk was created by Edward Tufte. He advocated for removing the chart junk, and even further, he wrote about the data to ink ratio, which compares the ink on the page associated with the data to all of the ink on the page. So as I mentioned, the concept here is to remove chart junk from the visualization that is not necessary, that is not directly associated with the data. So Tufts' 5 laws of data inc can be summarized as follows. First, above all else, show the data. Second, maximize the data inc ratio. Number 3, erase non-data inc. Number 4, erase redundant data inc. Number 5, revise and edit. So this can be done through an iterative process. So it doesn't have to be just a sequential linear process. So you can repeat these 5 steps until you achieve a desirable final outcome. So let's take a look at this example. So remove redundant labels, remove those unnecessary borders, then reduce colors, remove special effects, remove bolding, lighten labels, remove grid lines and direct label. So sometimes less is more useful, more powerful. So this is an example bar chart with a high data to inc ratio. So notice here, there's no grid line, no y-axis. The chart has been stripped of the non-data inc. So taking it to the extreme, here is another example using a scatter plot. The x and y-axis have been converted from lines into strip plots of data, showing the distribution of the points in the scatter plot. So here the x and y-axis are now data. So this actually could certainly be confusing to some readers. If the audience is the general public, then the scatter plot may be difficult in its normal form. So in this version, it may even complicate the view even more and would require a sophisticated reader or lots of annotations around how to read and interpret this type of chart. So compare this minimalist style that we've seen with Fossey's. So Jeff Schaffer used concise, meaning brief, but comprehensive. He believed that it's okay to have redundant information in the visualization, and it's okay to double encode the data. So it's about finding the sweet spot between minimalist and verbose. So take a look at this case. This was presented on the House floor by the Republicans to show the complexity of the Democrats' healthcare plan. They must have recognized that this wasn't easy to read, so they added some comments to it. So this is the one with the added comments. So now do you think it's much easier to read? Compare that one to this swimline diagram that organizes a process flow for many departments and clients. Each process, here you can see each process outlines some kind of specific activities included in the process. And there's a small circle with a number of connecting it to a step action table. In each step of the process, we can see who is the responsible party and what the next steps are in the process. So this can also be encoded with data, for example, color or even small charts. So this is a kind of a very useful way to document business processes in organizations, and also include who will be responsible for those activities in each process. So here is the Afghanistan stability chart. It's a network diagram. So General McChrystal said, we understand this slide, we'll have actually won the war. So it's important to understand who the audience and what is the message. So let's look at an example. This is food expenditure for 1 week of food in Germany versus Ecuador. So in Germany, the expense is $500 per week, while it's only about $31 in Ecuador. So we could trim this down even more and just label the two bar. This is pretty clear. In Germany, families spend on average much more per week on food than Ecuador. But now I'm going to show you something completely different. So here is Germany. And this is Ecuador. So now I could show you this data using a number of different visualization methods, but you won't walk out of this class and just say, the professor showed me this bar chart that I just can't get out of my mind. But you will probably likely remember these two images and their comparison. So let's look at some examples of data visualization for course. So to understand the importance of audience and the message for the audience. So this is a visualization. It's called Visualize No Malaria project. It's a partner between PASS and the Tableau. And this visualization of gun deaths in the United States was created by Periscopic. And they actually have been updating this visualization on their website periodically based on the updated data sets. This visualization on global warming was done by this person called Pooja Gandhi. It's from this USA Today in 2016. And this is a visualization of the kakapo done by Johnny Walker and along with several other colleagues. So this is an endangered animal in New Zealand. They created this visualization to identify the important characteristics of this species and the things that need to be done to protect this endangered animal. So here's a closer look at the visualization. They actually have a name for each kakapo currently living in New Zealand. Okay, so that's all for this set of slides. Please let me know if you have any questions.